Preview presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. I am back in our Town Fair Tire studios here in Waltham, Massachusetts. And Alex Barth is a man walking around California. Where are you at, Alex, right now?
I am in San Jose. I am at the San Jose Convention Center. You can hear behind me. They're doing some run-throughs for opening night tonight. I believe we're going to get some Scott Hansen action. That sounds like his voice. Actually, it's all the way across the room. I'll pull out of the way for those of you on YouTube. This is a massive room that's going to fill up. But this is always a fun one, a little more lighthearted before they get into the more serious stuff of the week. But, you know, they've got some guys that I think will shine in this environment. Matt Collins is certainly somebody I'll be looking for tonight. And yeah, we're just waiting to get started here in San Jose.
Have you workshopped any funny questions to ask anybody? I know years ago they'd always ask people, hey, if you could be a tree, what kind of tree would you be? Have you workshopped any questions for anyone?
I have not thought of too many of those. I think I'll leave the comedy to the comedians and I'll stick to the football. But in terms of those like famous internet questions, I am a fan of the more doors or more wheels question. That's always a fun one. What is there more in the world? More doors or more wheels?
Ooh, well, we need more wheels. That's a good one. Now you got me thinking about it. But as we're thinking about that, it's Super Bowl 60, everybody. This is the big game preview, of course. Alex Barth with us. Who knows who else you'll get tonight, Alex? But just what's day one been like? I know you guys got in there. When did you get in there? And I know you were there earlier this morning as I saw you. I heard you with Zoe and Beetle. But what's it been like so far in the vibe?
It's been good. So I got in Sunday. Today's my first full day here. It's interesting because it's multiple cities, right? San Francisco's like an hour away from San Jose, Santa Clara, just outside of San Jose. But the whole place is dressed up, is decked out for it. And at least a part of the city that we're in, the convention center, they have like blocks crossed off around the convention center and all the fan experience stuff. And Radio Row started buzzing today a little bit. I think there'll be more people in here tomorrow. So, It's been a good Super Bowl buzz going around. And Drake May is everywhere in particular. He's on posters and some of them are with Christian Gonzalez, some of them are with some other players, but it's everywhere you see the Patriots, you see Drake May. And he may be the face of this game, if not he may be the face of this game.
So you mentioned that. Have you noticed anything regarding his shoulder at all? Have you been watching the way that he holds his bags or the microphone or anything to that degree?
So I am going to keep an eye out for how he holds the microphone tonight because I believe he's doing something up on stage before they get started at the individual podiums. And the mic is there. He's just going to be sitting down, but did carry his bag in his right arm yesterday. I forget if that picture was walking to or from the plane, but definitely an encouraging sign there that he was doing that. And yeah, it's something to watch tonight, and it's something I imagine he'll be asked about tonight too, and maybe we'll get an update on that. They've updated us a little bit last week, and there wasn't much there. I don't know if that changes tonight, but yeah, seeing the way his mannerisms, all that, and just also how he sounds. Remember, he was sick on Friday too, so he spoke very briefly at the send-off rally. But like, does he sound hoarse or anything? Does he sound good? And you hope he's good to go.
What are your thoughts on the arrival of people there for day one? Of course, it's Super Bowl media night tonight, which I think used to just be media night, right? Or what are they calling it? Something else now. But you got players and coaches from both teams, and they'll all be available. So I guess really you can ask whatever you want. Do you think there'll be more people here to see the Patriots or the Seahawks? As far as the people that are there now, I guess.
Right. So I can tell you this. We walked because there's a fan element to it. And we just walked in and there's a line 2.5 blocks long around the corner. 65% Patriots fans, 70 somewhere in there. It was more of a Patriots heavy crowd. Now maybe Patriots fans just show up early, right? They're still on East Coast time, and the Seahawks fans will make their way over. Geographically, I'm just going to guess there's more Seahawks media here because it's closer. But in terms of fans that were showing up around the corner, there was heavy Patriots crowd, and that's kind of been the experience walking around in San Francisco too. I haven't seen a ton of fans yet. It's still early, but a little more Patriots than Seattle. And
of course, everyone's going to be all over Drake May tonight. How do you think he goes about deflecting, right? Because Mike Vrabel's been doing a pretty, nothing to see here, right? How do you think Drake May handles it? Do you think it's just his humble self and, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be out there with my guys. Like, I am kind of curious how he handles all that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I almost hope I really hope it doesn't change, right? He's been himself this long, and it sounds like, just based on hearing how his teammates talk about him, his coaches talk about him, his personality is a major asset for him. And this is something you do with young quarterbacks. This is the biggest game of his life. I know that's a no-duh statement, but like you don't want it to change him. You don't want him to change. You don't want it to change him. You still want him to approach it in a lot of ways like any other game, because we see how he's looked in the any other games. He's been pretty good. So I am kind of hoping to see him still be that same guy, even if it means we don't get as much out of him. Yeah, that makes our job a little harder. But if you're talking about like the Patriots' outlook on it, you don't want him to show up and suddenly try to change everything, because that's not a recipe for success.
Can you talk about second-year quarterbacks playing in their first Super Bowl? I go back to, Joe Burrow as someone that kind of stands out in my head. I'm thinking of some other guys that went and, what happened to them after that.
Yeah.
Last week I brought up, what's more important, or who is this more important for, Sam Darnold or Drake May? I guess that's the first football question I'll ask you on Big Game Preview tonight with Alex Barth. Who is this game, as far as quarterback, more important to, Sam Darnold or Drake May?
Ooh, so like who's more important to their team success, or like legacy-wise?
I would say just in general, like which quarterback needs to win this game?
If we're talking like legacy, I do go Sam Darnold, just because Drake should be back, and you don't take it for granted that they've gotten this far. And we all thought Burrow was going to be back, and it's been a few years and he hasn't been. So, I don't say that lightly. It's the Super Bowl. It's huge for both of them. But if I had to pick one, Sam Darnold goes from draft boss to journeyman backup, and now he's here, and it would just cap the story. And the Seahawks are a younger team than people think. They're not on the upward trajectory that the Patriots are. This was never supposed to be the best team Drake May ever had. Like that, going into the year, we were talking about how they still needed pieces, they still need to grow, and they still do, which is crazy to think, even though they're here. This might be the best team Sam Darnold's ever going to play with. He's got potentially the offensive player of the year in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Cooper Kupp has been good for them. He's been a key receiver for them, a really good run game, excellent offensive line. That defense is elite. The Seahawks are the better team. I mean, the line's there. Everybody knows it. I don't think I'm breaking news when I say it. That doesn't mean the Patriots can't win. I definitely think they can, but I think for Sam Darnold, this is his best chance. This may end up being Drake May's best chance. That'd be unfortunate, because again, it's only a second year and you want to see him and the team grow from here. But I think there's a better chance it's Sam Darnold's best chance than it's Drake May's best chance.
So the only reason why I push back on there's no wrong answer here, right? It's who you think and whatever, but I understand that Sam Darnold has a chance to rewrite his own history, right? Or rewrite his narrative and what people think about him. I mean, I'm one of those people, Alex, who thinks that he will screw it up. And because of all the interceptions, it will turn up in a big game. But for me, I get it. You can use the young aspect and, May could be back here. I just think that if Drake May wins and he beats Sam Darnold, that's who Sam Darnold was. You know what I mean? This is who Drake May is by winning a Super Bowl. So I know the question probably leans toward Sam Darnold because of everything, but I think this game, if the Patriots are going to win, they need Drake May. If Sam Darnold and the Seahawks win, do they absolutely need Sam Darnold to be at his best?
No, so this goes to the other, and that's why I asked you about that question. Like, who's this game more important for? In terms of who's more important to their team's success, 100% Drake May. And Sam Darnold could go out there. I don't think he can suck. He can't do what CJ Stroud did, but he could go out there and be like, okay, call it 200 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And the Seahawks can win the game because their defense is that good. Their run game is that good. They're just that good. If Drake May throws for 200 yards, and let's call it 225 total, running and passing, 225 total, one touchdown total, one turnover total, fumbles. I don't know if the Patriots can win the game with that. I don't think he has to throw for 500, but I think he has to do more than that. He has much less margin for error in this game than Sam Darnold does.
What are your thoughts on just Sam Darnold in general leaving, his history, right? Started with the Jets, struggled, went to the Panthers for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
He has had time in the league. He's been a backup with the 49ers, right? He's been with the Vikings. Every team that's basically he's left, I guess, outside of the 49ers has struggled, right? I mean, I look at him and he was when this thing went down and they moved on from Geno and went to Darnold, I was kind of questioning it. It seems to have worked out perfectly for the team.
It couldn't work out any better. And look, it got the guy, or at least partially. I know there's a lot of stories, but the GM in Minnesota is fired in part because he chose J.J. McCarthy over Sam Darnold, which I could have told you at the time was the wrong decision. But I've said for a long time, this is independent of Darnold. I wasn't a huge Darnold guy when he came out of the draft. I didn't hate him, but I didn't think I thought he was like a mid to late first round pick. But some of that was I didn't think he was ready immediately. I thought he needed some more time. And the Jets obviously didn't give him that. And two things I think we lose track of when it comes to the NFL draft, and I think this is true of all players, but it's especially true of quarterbacks. And Sam Darnold is a perfect example of this. One thing is the NFL draft is nature versus nurture. And drafting the right player is only half the battle. And there's very few guys that will go anywhere and succeed. And there's some guys that might go anywhere and succeed, but they'll be better in one place than the other. I get asked all the time, well, do you think this player is going to be good? Well, tell me where he's going to be playing, and I'll tell you whether or not I think he's going to be good. I think that's a big part of the conversation. And Darnold obviously went to a place that is a house of horrors for quarterbacks, for everybody, but for quarterbacks. They cannot develop quarterbacks in New York. The other half of it, and this is maybe a little more quarterback specific, the NFL has a patience problem when it comes to quarterbacks. Used to not be able to get a good quarterback in free agency. That wasn't going to happen. Best you were going to do was guys like Brady or Rodgers. And when I say get a quarterback, I mean a franchise quarterback. Those guys were 2-3 year windows max, right? What the Broncos tried doing with Russell Wilson and some of these veterans moving on. Drew Brees, not Drew Brees, he didn't move. Phillip Rivers. That was really the only way you're doing it. Now you're seeing these guys like Sam Darnold, like Baker Mayfield have success elsewhere, Kirk Cousins. And I just think the NFL has a patience problem when it comes to quarterbacks. Some of these guys, especially with how different the college and pro game are, some of these guys come in not ready. And if you're going to play them right away, you have to wait, or you have to give them time to get better. Some of these guys, most of these guys are not ready day one. That's not to say you have to stick with the same quarterback forever. And like the Jets should have signed him to a second contract, right? The Patriots should have signed a guy like Mac Jones to a second contract. You got to cut bait eventually. But some of these teams give him like a year and a half. That's just not enough time, especially for some, now that they're drafting quarterbacks younger and younger. I think it was Bill Parcells used to have a rule, like 25 starts in college was the benchmark. They're drafting guys who had 10 starts in college. So that guy is 15 games behind everybody else. That's basically a full season. And so I think Sam Darnold, it was a victim of, he was not given a good opportunity to succeed just by nature of being in New York. And even within that, if they'd given him a little more time, maybe he would have figured it out. But as a lot of teams have done, they cut bait too early.
All right, Alex Barth is with us. It's the big game preview. We'll be on all week long with big game coverage here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. It looks good. If you follow us on YouTube, you can see Alex live from the convention center. There's a nice little graphic logo that was made for the show, Alex.
I love this logo. It's a great logo.
It looks cool. I like it. It looks like a little 98.5 saucer with a football on it.
Yeah.
Remember that football that had the whistle?
Oh, yeah. I had one of those.
You would throw it.
Do you know what the best one was, though? Do you remember the Nerf football that you could like open it up and draw the play inside it?
No.
I got to find a picture of it and tweet it out. You could like open it up and it had like, it traced your finger. So it would leave like a little black line. So you could draw up the play inside the football and then close it and then run the play. Huh? I'll send you a picture. I had one of those. That was my favorite like Nerf football I had.
All right. Well, I'll have to watch for that then. As I'm now curious about what kind of footballs that we had growing up, because there was one with a little thing at the end of it that just, man, I could throw the hell.
Oh no,
out.
I remember that one too. Yeah, and you could whip them.
Yeah, it's like I feel. Like
here it is.
I feel like Uncle Rico. I could throw it over the mountains over there.
So hang on here. I got it. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it's gonna be horrible radio.
It's great for radio. Everyone's driving.
I don't know if you can see that, Joe. It has all the route. You open it up and it looks like the QB wristband. It has all the routes on the top, and then you can draw the play on the bottom.
In on this.
It was a good time.
Oh,
it was called the Nerf I just had it. The Nerf Big Play Football.
Well, the big play to the big game preview. Wow, I love that.
There we go, Joe.
Alex's and Joe's.
That's right.
We could write it right on there. All right, Alex is where again are you? Just
San Jose Convention
San
Center.
Jose. Is that where the Sharks play?
No, they play across the street. They have an arena. It's huge. So opening night's usually at the arena. Like when I covered it in Atlanta, we were in the Hawks building, and I remember we had dinner in their practice gym. So it's cool seeing the different arenas. I'm a little bummed. I wish it was I think it's the SAP Center still. I know it was at one point. I think it still is.
All right. Well, Alex Barth is with us for the next hour, and then who knows? He'll be wandering around all night long, meeting so many people that will be at Media Night. We'll take a quick break. I see some people in our chat have questions for Alex. They want to know about the concern level for Drake May. We'll get into all that coming up on the other side. And I wanted to ask you about Josh McDaniels and his impact in the Super Bowl as well. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. It is the big game preview with Alex Barth here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
125 years. Let's get to work.
Is foot pain keeping you from living the life you love? Hi, it's Phoebe with the Good Feet store. Life is too short to be living with foot, knee, hip, or back pain. When all four arches in your feet are supported, the results can be amazing. Go to goodfeet.com to make your appointment today.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's the big game preview with Alex Barth, live in San Jose. Ryan Garvin just popped in to tell me about the Warriors and the Warriors movie. Because I, did you know what it was all about there, Alex?
So I've never seen that movie. I'm familiar with the clip. So yeah, I recognize that.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar, but now that I've read a little bit about it and seen the meme a million times in my life, I get it. It's just that why does that move? What made that the calling card? What made that a movie that was made in 1979? How does that relate to people in 2026?
Mike Vrabel talked about this last week. It has to. So in terms of going on the road and being successful on the road, and they talked about this going into the Miami game. If you remember all the way back to September, Joe, I actually did post game with you for this one. And we were talking about they were 0-1. They just lost to the Raiders. They needed to win to save the season. Do you remember?
I
we were talking about that 5 months ago. And so how important it was to win on the road. And so the road warrior mentality, have the mentality of road warriors. And Mike Vrabel originally was showing them WWF clips of the road warriors. But he said he ran out of clips and he thought of that scene from the movie. And so that was just next.
Okay. Because it was Coney Island.
Because the word warrior,
Coney Island versus the Bronx. I think I remember something about that. I don't know. The wrestling had the road warriors. Anyways. Warriors! I gotcha.
Vrabel gets into it when he does it. He loves doing that.
I'm behind it. I just,
I love it.
I'm behind.
They're wearing the white jerseys just because they want to. They're technically the home team. They got to pick first. They wanted to wear white.
All right. What's your concern level on Drake May from 1 to 10? Alex Barth says someone in our chat.
Let's go with a 2.5. I'm not. The shoulder or just in general? I assume that's about the shoulder. I would say 2.5. Look, he's the starting quarterback in the Super Bowl and his throwing shoulder's bothering him. I don't know how you're not worried about that. But, to an extent, it's a factor. He has 2 weeks to get ready. He threw Thursday at practice. Mike Vrabel said his arm responded fine. We obviously didn't see him out there Friday because of the illness, but Vrabel said his arm responded fine. Part of me just wonders naturally, and maybe I'm being too optimistic here, but it's they've played 20 games. That's a lot. Everybody's dealing with something and bumps and bruises, and maybe it's a little more than bumps and bruises, but if he had a tear, right, I don't think he would just go out and throw on Thursday at practice. I don't think it would be as simple as this. I think there'd be more to it. We'd know more about it. So I think he's just banged up because everybody's banged up this time of year, and maybe it's just a little more than the background because he took some big hits in that Denver game. But if they had to play the game yesterday, if there wasn't the 1 week in between, that number would be a lot higher, but I think the extra week will probably help him out. Seeing him tonight, we talked about this in the open. Seeing him tonight, I think will be helpful and will be good to get a gauge of where he's at.
Yeah. I know he'll be out there. Maybe he's dealing with an ailment. But the fact that he missed his first practice for the year has me wondering, but at the same time, how could this be a little tongue in cheek for Mike Vrabel? Trying to, it seems to this point he's been dealing with something all year, but now it's talked about, so they have to put it on the injury report. But how much tongue in cheek could this be for Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, you can get in trouble for lying on the injury report. You can lose draft picks and stuff. I don't think it would be worth that risk just to kind of screw with the Seahawks. Now you can certainly play up an existing injury. All that I say is right shoulder. And remember, Brady was on there was Brady ever off the injury report?
I actually don't know. I
think he did come off eventually, late in his career with the Patriots. I don't know what Tampa did with that, but yeah, they can kind of mess around that way a little bit, but you can't just make up an illness and hold him out as gamesmanship. I also don't think it's worth him missing the practice. And if, they added the illness because he couldn't throw because of the shoulder, again, is that really worth potentially losing a draft pick for? I don't think so.
Okay, I have people checking in on the footballs that we grew up with. There's people, we got big game.
I sent you the picture.
Yes, big game preview. Of course, we're here to talk about the game, but people said, "Oh, the Hutch footballs were the best." You had the Nerf one that you have with all the fandom. People said that they wanted that one as a kid. DJ Bean checking in. The Howler is the one that I was talking about. That whistled.
Okay,
the Howler. That was good. I always liked that one. And then people have mentioned that these were great birthday gifts as a young kid. So that could be something. Maybe you could go up to Garrett Bradbury and be like, "Hey, man, so
favorite Nerf football you had?"
Yeah, and because I think he snapped to Sam Darnold. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, he did.
Huh?
In Minnesota last year. I don't know how many snaps Darnold took last year. Oh, no, yeah, he did. Sorry, I was going back 2 years.
You were thinking of the
he filled in for McCarthy. Yeah.
But no, I mean
49ers and Panthers.
Panthers too. Remember the photo of Sam Darnold in Baker Mayfield?
And that would have been so funny if that was the NFC Championship.
Just speaking of that, last night I was watching the Bruins Tampa Bay thing, and they gave some guy at halftime like a second chance. And they're like, "All right, let's bring out, speaking of second chances, Tampa Bay quarterback Baker Mayfield." And he goes, "Yeah, I know something about second chances, man." And it got real corny.
He loves that. Like, he's got such that chip on his shoulder. Like, that's so him.
The other football was the Vortex.
Yes, I remember
the Vortex football. That was something. Oh yeah, that was a Yep, that had like the little arrow on the back with the whistle. $12.49 right now at Target.
There you go. Hasn't been recalled. I looked it up. The big game football got recalled.
Oh man!
So they haven't made them since 2004.
That's sad.
That was, depending on when in 2004. That was 4 Patriots Super Bowl wins ago.
Still got to get David Andrews in a room and do some snaps with him.
Oh, yeah, we had talked about that because that Miami game that was camp where they were having trouble snapping.
Remember that? This is how far they've come, Alex. From that day, you did post-game with me against what? Was that Pittsburgh? I can't remember. No,
well, it's funny. You want to go back even further. So I went back to look at, I was feeling nostalgic on Friday when they had their last practice at Gillette. So I'm like, let me go back and look at how many days it's been since their first practice. And the first one with media access was actually their second. Their first OTA practice was closed. We went to the second. It was over 260 days ago now. Do you remember what the big story was coming out of that first media OTA practice?
Was it Steph Diggs?
Nope. He wasn't on the field yet, so he didn't get on the field till camp. This was OTAs. This was in the spring.
OTAs. No.
Drake May threw 4 picks on his first 6 throws.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, what is happening? What is the season going to be? All of that. And if I had told you that day, it's fine, don't worry, they're going to the Super Bowl. Well, you would have thought I was nuts.
Well, I got something on that I want to share with you regarding Josh McDaniels coming up in just a little bit. But Hardy's going to check in with us.
Yes.
Sounds like Hardy's going to give us a prop bet every night this week.
Love it.
I'm kind of interested where he's going. Him and I had a long-running bet year in and year out about betting overtime, and, well, it happened one year. So I think he's made his money in the long run there. So, all right. Well, we'll have more with Alex Barth, who's in San Jose. It's media night, and it's the big game preview. It's presented by FanDuel. We'll have more coming up with Hardy. Coming up after the headline here, I'm Joe Murray, Alex Barth. Here's the big game preview on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, well, it's media night, Super Bowl 60. Patriots and Seahawks will meet in San Jose, and they'll ask a bunch of questions. Well, Alex Barth will be one of the guys that will be asking said questions. Hey, how about the Bruins? Well, they lost last night in the Stadium Series. They lost in a shootout. And now Elias Lindholm's out with an upper body injury. He's back on injured reserve, and the team is now called up. Jordan Harris, he's back from Providence, and it was Red Sox truck day today. On its way to Fort Myers, all those baseballs. It was so great. Headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. You'll save 15% off an extravagant oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Joe Murray here on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, back here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. It's the big game preview. And it's brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. We have Alex Barth. He is in San Jose for media night tonight. And, of course, we are bringing in the one and only Hardy, who I believe was on a boat for a week, a rock and roll cruise.
That was the 90s cruise, please.
90s cruise?
Give it the proper title for what it was, 90s cruise. Right up your alley, Joe. You would have loved it.
Well, listen, I can only imagine. Was it 90s like mainstream, or was there a little bit of grunge in there?
A little bit of grunge. So let's see, Sugar Ray. And let's see, how soon I forget. I'm trying to do them in order of who is actually headlining. And Sugar Ray only got on the boat for like one night when we were stopped in Key
Did they play
West.
every morning?
Of course they did.
Thank you.
So it was Sugar Ray, Better Than Ezra.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm going to pull up the full list here so I don't leave anybody out. Smash Mouth.
Oh, one of them's not with us anymore, though.
That same goes for TLC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
this is like all over the board 90s.
Sponge. Fuel.
Oh.
Tonic. DJ Hurricane, who formerly with the Beastie Boys, but was spinning with Kid and Play. And we had Robin Wilson from Gin Blossoms. He was the musical host. Edwin McCain, who, of course, as he refers to it, sang his song, I'll Be Your Crying Shoulder.
Familiar.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like shows starting at noon every day and all over the ship, and lots of trivia and games, and just 2,000 people floating around listening to 90s music and hanging out.
Well, this is the big game preview, and that was a big game preview of the 90s cruise. Which
well, it's a post view because it's over. It's all done.
Well, you're back. I heard you this morning, so you're here. You're available. And now FanDuel has you here to give us a prop bet this week. Now, I know you and I.
Well, this is why I'm here, Joe. I think they know our history.
Yes.
Do you want to tell Barth our history?
Well, I kind of teased it. I think long story short is every year Hardy used to bet that a game would go into overtime. And, well, one of the games went into overtime. Do you remember? I gave you better odds, though. What were the odds?
This is how it used to work. When I lived in Vegas, every year I would bet, will there be an overtime? Yes. Yeah. And I would get odds of anywhere from, 6-1 to 8-1. Joe thought it was the dumbest bet ever.
Yes.
And he started taking my action probably right around, when did you first join the Sports Hub, Joe?
2011 or 12.
Okay. All right. And I would bet $50 with Joe every year, and he would give me 10-1 odds.
Mm-hmm.
And then it paid off.
It happened.
It paid off, and then you stopped taking my action.
So I was going to say, did you get, because it's happened twice now, did you get it on both, or it was just the one, 28-3?
Well, now you can just go ahead and bet it, like
it's
on
true.
FanDuel. So it's no problem for me now. But yes, I've still been betting it every year since Joe stopped making book on me. And I've hit it twice now. So, the first time it hit, it covered all my previous will there be an overtime bets going back for 15 years. And now I'm definitely up. I'm up on the overtime bets. So I just got to keep betting it every year. Why not?
Yeah. And one time Maz goes, give me Steve Pierce to win the World Series MVP. And it was like, plus 10,000. I'm like, sure.
You took that?
Oh, yeah, he won. So he's also, he's been above for a while there. But anyways, what do you got? Give us something juicy. Someone's already hitting us up saying they're going to smash every single one of your prop bets. And, of course, prop bets will be brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Hardy, what do you got for prop bets?
Okay, we're gonna do these every night. So I'm gonna start pretty pedestrian here. Touchdown scorers. the first touchdown scorer of the game. Now on FanDuel, the best odds go to two Seahawks players. They go to Kenneth Walker and Jackson Smith-Njigba. If you think a Patriot is going to be the first player to score a touchdown, that Patriot would be Ramondre Stevenson.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think decent odds on that would be?
I'd say in the 200s.
I was going to say high 100s, low 200s.
How about plus 800?
Whoa!
Wow, for Stevenson?
Ramondre Stevenson as the first touchdown scorer of the game. His anytime number is plus 145.
Oh, that's what I was thinking more. Yeah.
Can I ask you one more in there, too? Just while you're on it. Do you have Hunter Henry in front of you?
Yes. Hunter Henry is plus 1,600 for the first touchdown scorer of the game.
The Seahawks have struggled defending non-wide receivers in the pass game.
Okay.
So that's why I like the Stevenson one, because he could catch a screen too. And in the playoffs, Josh McDaniels been using screens kind of early on. Breaks one.
But maybe you throw a little at both Ramondre Stevenson and Hunter Henry for the
anytime
you just mentioned there, Barth. Okay, not the anytime, but for the first for the anytime for Henry, it's plus 230, which is still pretty good.
It's pretty good.
All right, that's number one. How do you feel about the quarterbacks in this game? Just in general, are they both absolutely, without a doubt, ready for prime time? There's no way they're going to make any kind of mistake. You feel that way about these guys?
There could be a couple mistakes in this game.
Well, they both have the most turnovers in the league, if you really want to.
See, you're talking my language here, Joe. Both teams to record an interception. Plus 200.
Ooh.
Don't hate that.
It's not great. I would like it better at, I don't know, maybe 250 or 300. But 2-1 odds for both of those guys to throw a pick in this game? Sure. Why not? I'll take that one.
And like we saw, it was the Texans game, right? Like the end of half Hail Mary, you get one of those. Still counts.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's all you need. Now, what is the current total that you have on this game, Joe?
Well, I saw it open at 46.5 in some places. It's moved around a little bit here.
Yep.
So at the moment, I believe it's 45.5 has been pretty solid right there at that number.
All right. Just based on your early analysis of this game, do you think it is going to be low scoring or high scoring?
High scoring.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask Barth. Barth, based on your early analysis of this game, do you think it's going to be low scoring or high scoring?
Lowish, not low. I don't think it's going to be like Denver, but on the lower side.
All right, I'm with you, Barth. Joe, you can take a powder here for a second.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to go if you want to go super low on this one, got some interesting odds here. Now you say it's up to what, 40 what, Joe?
45.5.
Okay. Let's say you want to go crazy and say this is going to be more like 35.5 plus 340 on that.
Ooh,
and I could
lines.
I could easily see this. So a lot of alternate lines and alternate total points. Now, if you think this is going to be somehow a repeat of the AFC Championship game and you want to go, something crazy like
low.
Yeah, like 20. Now you're talking about plus 3,000. I don't want to do anything like that, but I could get talked into 30.5 points at plus 630. I could see a game like that unfolding. I could see a 20 to I can't talk myself.
30's low. 30 you're talking
30
about
is absurdly low, but
like 17-10.
Yeah,
kind of game is your ballpark.
I don't think it's going to be that, but I would mess around right around that 35.5 mark, and there's some interesting options there on the alternate totals for this game. So those are my three. First touchdown scorer, skip over those Seahawks players, go right to Ramondre Stevenson or Hunter Henry. Take a look at the totals we were just talking about, the alternate totals. If you're like me or like Barth and think maybe this is going to be a little lower scoring game than what the total is set at right now, and for both teams to record an interception, that's sitting at plus 200 right now on FanDuel. So I like all those.
All right.
I haven't decided on what I'm going to put my money down on as a total, but I like the interceptions one, and I really like the first touchdown score being either Ramondre or Hunter Henry.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you some homework, okay?
Okay.
I want you to think about if there'll be a safety or not in the Super Bowl for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. And I'm going to look at it. I've never liked the safety odds, and what was it? The year where the first score of the game was the safety.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Tom Brady.
Okay. And people were, there was one guy in particular I remember seeing on Twitter who was all excited because he had $100 on it at 50-1. I'm like, dude, you got 50-1 on the first score of the game being a safety? I mean, it was a nice payout for him, sure, but I would want much better odds than that. For the first score of the game to be a safety, I would want way better odds than that. So that'll be my homework. I'll check out just normal odds on there being a safety recorded in the game and the first score of the game being a safety.
Okay. Can I throw in one more too?
Yeah.
Not to give you too much homework. The last few years when the Niners were in it regularly, I would bet whoever they were playing, I think it was always the Chiefs to win after trailing because Kyle Shanahan likes to blow big leads. Which team do you like better to bet to win after trailing in this one, the Seahawks or the Patriots?
Okay. All right. Win after trailing.
Yeah, because I would assume it's different odds. You can bet either team. I would assume it's different odds for one or the other.
Okay. All right. I'll check out both of those. All right. Good stuff.
He's Hardy, everybody. It's brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And Hardy, of course, will be on with Fred tomorrow morning. Is that correct?
That is correct. I'll be there bright and early.
He's up early every day with you at 6 a.m. Hardy, appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Alex.
You got it. It's the big game preview with Hardy giving bets. Alex, this is good. I like. I can't wait till later in the week. I start asking him about fat guy props. Oh yes, everybody's licking their chops back there. I see Skaz smiling. And our intern Dawson's like, what? I can bet on this stuff? Yes. Street Team Joe's even taking notes. Alex, on the other side, I want to ask you about Josh McDaniels. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
Because I've teased it for 2 segments. Did you know that?
I noticed.
That's why it's the big game preview, which is coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to
The big game preview. We're going to be doing this every night this week at 6 o'clock. So Alex will join us. I don't know who else we'll have with us, Alex, but I know that tonight you're doing media day. So let everyone know what you got going on, and of course, if you get anything good, we're going to play it later on tonight.
Yeah, so I do have up on the website now. I did kind of an early breakdown on the Seahawks. People can check out on 985thesportshub.com. Also, not really a breakdown, but just letting people know who the officials are. And I saw right away, as soon as we tweeted that, we got a response. Joe asking you for the wrangle. I don't know how that works with the All-Star cruise. It's not the usual cruise, but
who's the head of the crew?
Sean Smith. His first Super Bowl.
Oh, the Patriots have had, from my mind's eye, Patriots have had success. But you know what? Homework for tomorrow.
He's done 2 Patriots games. It was the Giants game.
Yep.
And then the playoff game against the Texans. Now, remember, the rest of the crew was different people. And it's a couple guys from that Adrian Hill crew who did not give the Patriots any help. But you can find the full list on 985thesportshub.com. And yeah, we'll be gathering sound tonight. Media night's kind of unpredictable, so tough to tell you what to find. I'll tell you this, though. If you subscribe to the Sports Hub YouTube channel, you'll find whatever we get. And like I said, you'll be playing it tonight, so stay tuned for that. And I think during the week, the plan is Bob Sosi is going to do some interviews with us at the kind of day-to-day media availability, and we will be playing some of that as well. So we'll hear from Bob as Bob hears from some of the players.
All right, so just to knock a couple of things out, this of course, what we're doing, the big game preview, is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game with FanDuel. It's the official partner of the NFL. And also just wanted to mention this hour of the Sports Hub is brought to you by Papa Gino's. New England's favorite pizza is now Drake May's favorite pizza. Drake's favorite pizza is the plain cheese pizza. He goes plain. So in honor of number 10, when you buy a large cheese pizza from Papa Gino's, you can get another large pizza for just $10. Drake May and Papa Gino's, the perfect New England pairing. Well, speaking of the New England pairing, Josh McDaniels is in his 10th Super Bowl, Alex. It's pretty amazing here. I do want to give him his props. So is it just 2 quarterbacks that he's done this with? Right? Brady and now...
Go to a Super Bowl?
Yes. Brady and now Drake May here. I didn't think it could happen in a year. But what do you think? What type of impact do you think that Josh McDaniels has made on Drake May?
I think it's massive. And I think it's really the between the ears stuff. He's cleaned up the fundamentals a little bit. I credit where credit's due. I thought Alex Van Pelt did a very good job with his fundamentals last year. But I think the between the ear stuff with Josh, just we've seen the turnovers come down. I think he just had to have it drilled into him. Like, it's not the end of the world if you take a sack. It's not the end of the world if you throw it away. And those are negative plays, but his biggest problem last year were the negative plays becoming disasters and not just staying negative plays. And that's something that McDaniels always specialized in. It sounds kind of simplistic, but it's not. The other thing McDaniels did, and this is what he's always done. Josh McDaniels has his core concepts that he's going to run. And there is, in that sense, the system, but he's really not. People think he's super hard-headed, and it's the Brady offense, the Brady offense, the Brady offense. Again, there's core concepts of that, but these are like very basic level things. The way he puts them together and builds off of them, I think he's always been very good at tailoring it to his quarterbacks. Getting as much as he did out of Cam Newton when his arm was cooked in 2020, I think really is an underrated feat. The Mac Jones here, he gained that screen merchant label that Josh McDaniels calls too many screens. Look at what happened the next year when they had Mac Jones trying to throw the ball down the field. I think Josh McDaniels knew something. And so once again, he's done a great job of having his finger on the pulse and understanding the players he has to work with, what they do well, what they don't do well, putting everybody, not just the quarterback, everybody in a position to succeed. But obviously that highlights the quarterback when you're putting wide receivers in a position to succeed and getting them get open. I think he's done a tremendous job with Stephon Diggs' usage this year. And Diggs has talked about that. So those would be the big 2 things to me that they sound easy, right? Okay, tell the quarterback not to turn the ball over and run an offense that makes sense for your players. It's not as common as you think among offense coordinators. That's also a little bit of an oversimplification, but like we see a lot of coordinators around the league, and it goes to what we talked about earlier about quarterbacks being put in a bad position. Some of these guys run what they're going to run. You know, it doesn't matter if they have the personnel for it. They believe in their system and its system above all. Mike McDaniels, a big part of this, is an example if you want to look at it. And Josh McDaniels has never been like that. And I think there's tremendous value in that. And I think it's something that was overlooked, and some people were down on the hire coming into the year because they viewed him the other way. And yeah, he ran one offense for the vast majority of his career. He only had one quarterback for the vast majority of his career. And yeah, it didn't work as well in Denver. I don't think he has the same ability to do it when he's the head coach for whatever reason. But when he's the offensive coordinator, he does a good job of tailoring the skill set to his players, and he's just done a fantastic job of that with Drake May.
All right, Alex. We're down one night, man. You ready? You excited for this?
Oh, yeah. 1 down, 4 to go.
I wanted to shout out Tim Staskowitz. He reached out to us. He works on our digital manager, and he sent the brain ball. Yeah, that was from Nickelodeon, if you remember
I have never seen that.
Yes, and he also made the logo, so shout out to him.
He did make the logo.
Which we're if you go to YouTube, the logo is, I'm going to pump that logo up tomorrow. I'm going to screenshot it and put it on a graphic.
Yeah, tweet that out.
And we're gonna pump that bad boy up all week. We're gonna have Hardy's prop picks. You know, people are crapping on me because I was down on the hire for McDaniels. I was very down very, very down.
Was it because you were worried he was only going to run a specific offense?
I just thought, I wanted Ben Johnson to begin with. Than Mike Vrabel. Okay. So I was wrong about Vrabel. I was wrong about McDaniels. So I was really wrong, Alex.
McDaniels is part of why Vrabel's such a good hire, because I think there is something to be said for, if you have a young quarterback, you want an offensive coach because you're not going to lose them like offense coordinators get hired away. You look at the Seahawks, they're going to lose Clint Kubiak, one and done. And you want an offensive coach to help bring your young quarterback along and they can grow together. And I think there's some truth to that, because most of the time a good offense coordinator is going to get hired away, not Josh McDaniels. And that allows you to hire a defensive coach and a guy that's maybe more of a culture guy and a program builder, which this team desperately needed. And it's Vrabel and McDaniels, I think, would have been good hires on their own. The pairing is excellent. And I know there's been, all this stuff about Vrabel won't give him credit and whatever their relationship is, but just however much you believe in that or don't believe in it, either way, the pairing being what it is fits just so well for what this organization needed and will need for the near future.
I was wrong, Alex. Everybody wants to hear me say it.
They do love it when we say that.
I was wrong. The Patriots were in the Super Bowl, and you were all right. All right, Alex, have fun tonight, man. We'll be watching on YouTube.
Will do, Joe.
And anything that you get, we'll play later on, and we'll catch back up tomorrow, my man.
Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, it's Alex Barth, everybody. It's the big game preview. Just for those watching on YouTube, just know that we're going to shut down, and then we're going to add a new show for the Joe Show, which will start right about now. But just real quick, thanks to our presenting sponsor tonight, which is FanDuel Sportsbook. They are the official sponsor. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right. We got the Joe Show. That's me. I'm Joe. And we'll have a new show after the big game preview. Stay tuned. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, we'll have Hardy back. We'll have Alex back. Maybe Bob Sosi will join us. So stay tuned every night, 6 o'clock for the big game preview. But next, me, Joe Murray, on 98.5 The Sports Zone.